What's going on, party people? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about XCN today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. And let's get into it, my friends. It is the 8th. It's the 8th day of August today. And here we are at about 1.4 cents. I know, it's crazy. I can't believe it either. We're actually at 1.4 cents still. We've been here for a week now. Has it been a week? It's basically been, let's see, from the 1st to the 8th. It's been a week and a day that we've been here. So that's pretty boring. I'm pretty bored of it. At this point in time, I'm kind of hoping OnyxCoin just plummets through the earth. At least we'll have something to talk about. But, there's not... Actually, there is some stuff to talk about on that note, now that I'm thinking about it here. Oh, and not financial advice, not a financial advisor. Since this is pulled up, we're going to talk about it. I was actually just going to go to Onyx on X. This is not planned out, but I was looking at this company, Fernhill Corp. Fern. It's a stock. I was just let's say coincidentally looking this up. It's a very low market cap stock. Kind of interesting. And sounding interesting is different than being interesting. It sounds interesting. And trust me, I mean what I'm saying there, because in crypto, there are hundreds of thousands of projects and they all sound interesting, right? They got to have that selling point. But are they interesting, right? There's only a few that actually are. I'm more thinking just because I was surprised that I just randomly looked this thing up and it actually has something to do with crypto. And we all know about, I'm going to take a moment to pivot here. We all know about these stocks that are acquiring various cryptos, and then they announce that they've made a large acquisition of cryptos, and then they pump dramatically through the roof, right? They're kind of these sleeper stocks that have been well, sleepers, like zombies, right? They have nothing going for them, so then they incorporate crypto. This thing, speaking of which, is at a very good buying price. It's at its all-time lows. It's got like a double bottom look here. This all the way up here would put it over at over 100x, right? You're at $0.005. That would be up to about 6 cents. If you went up to this, let alone higher, you got a $1 million market cap. I mean, I'm just saying, guys. I'm not saying buy this. We're talking about OnyxCoin, but I'm only saying this because I was pulling this up here. I wanted to pull up something for OnyxCoin. It was on Grok. And I was looking into it, and I was literally thinking, I'm like, I don't want to make a dedicated video, but I still want to bring it up somehow in case anybody wants to make a play. Understand, right? I'm not saying sell your OnyxCoin for Fern. If you put money in here, how I would look at it is don't expect anything of it. It could just very well fizzle out into nothingness. But if it's money, what I like to call F-it money, I'm not going to curse because there might be children watching, or YouTube might be getting me with their algorithm of despair. F-it money, throw some F-it money in there. Like if you got $100 and you want to gamble, put it in here. You could turn into $10,000. I don't know. If $100,000 is F-it money to you, I mean, this thing's got $1 million market cap. Maybe you don't want to put that much money in there, but still like $1,000 times 100x. I mean, that's $100,000. You could, buy a new car, buy 2 new cars, get that very, very nice Model X plaid, or go on vacation, go on 40 vacations, whatever, depending on where you go in the world. Go on one really nice vacation. I'm not saying that it'll go there, right? No promises. I was actually thinking in my head, I'm like, how am I going to talk about this to my crowd? And the XCN people, you guys are my crowd, so what better video to bring it up? And I'm kind of glad that happened. So I have not invested in this personally. I've looked into it. I don't know enough about it, but it seems interesting. And I don't know. If you believe in this kind of stuff like I do, it feels like the universe was speaking to me with this one. It just happened. It's big coincidences, but I've had big coincidences before that came out to be nothing. So that's Blue Zell was one of those. If anybody knows Blue Zell is a big old turd. But anyways, oh man, screw Blue Zell. I wish I just never bought that thing, man. But we have winners, we have losers, and that's why you put a little bit of money and you don't bet the farm on some random thing that your favorite YouTuber's talking about. Anyways, August 7th, yesterday, we are thrilled to announce the launch of Onyx XCN Wallet, now approved by both Apple and Google Play stores. Download our gas-free. That's pretty cool. And again, please be reminded that XCN gas-free wallet is exclusively available on the Layer 3 Onyx ledger. Do not send assets that are not on this network. If you do, they're gone forever. Probably gone forever. XCN has a makeover. I think this is cool. I think this is pretty cool. This little makeover they got. There's a lot. I feel like it's appealing. I feel like it's a very appealing kind of look. I actually really do like this a little bit more. It's straightforward. There's all these things. If you're trying to find out more about OnyxCoin, you don't have to go through all these like back pages and different things. I mean, you can find out more by clicking on these other things, but you know, designed for financial grade applications, it absolutely is. Cross-border, secure, OnyxCoin, yes, gas, yes. ERC20 decentralized operates as a utility gas and governance token of Onyx. It's got all these different things right here that you can read about, right? And just these little co-ops, I guess, or like things that are helping the ecosystem or that are part of the ecosystem, right? All these little benefits. Onyx products, digital asset, right? Fully decentralized digital asset that operates across multiple blockchain networks. Yes, very simple, very straightforward. Staking, staking APR. What? No, no, it's not 28%. Hold on, let me look. No. It was 28%. Let me just look here. Hold on. I'm gonna do it over here because I don't want to show you guys my wallet. I'm doing it on a different tab. I know it went up from 14% to 15%, which is still, by the way, that's one of the best APRs in the space, especially for a coin of this magnitude. No, it's 15% staking APR. Onyx DAO. You guys got to fix that, okay? You guys got to fix that. That's misleading, okay? And I get it, but I don't know if they meant to do that because that's probably been a thing for a long time. It was at this level, but that's misleading, right? Make this. I know that this is. It looks like something that's just fixed. It's already there, but maybe make this dynamic to where it's adjusted. I'm just saying, if anybody from the Onyx DAO is listening to this, don't mislead people, right? They see 28% and then they go to stake and it's only 15%. That might be like, oh, this is a scam. They lied to me. You know, don't do stuff like that. Don't do stuff. And I don't think that this is an intention. I think that was just it was like that for a while. It was at 28%. But if anybody from Onyx DAO is listening to this at all, I like to pretend that I'm important. Maybe fix that. You know, maybe make that more dynamic, or I don't know. I don't, unless it's gonna be 28% at some point. That'd be nice. You know, you just got all these different things. And my computer is, or it's not my computer. It's the internet actually is super slow. But there's more to it if it would load. What was that there? We had a little something. Security. Onyx is safeguarded by a security first foundation. CR security audits. Yeah, they do. Which a lot of cryptos don't do security audits, right? Or at least publicly announce them. Introducing Goliath, right? Which is pretty big, right? Creating an inclusive digital infrastructure that empowers individuals and enterprises, financial institutions to interact, build, and transact with confidence, right? This, you guys, Goliath, we don't talk about it enough, but this is going to be big. When they get this sorted out, like this is the, I think, cherry on top of a lot of different things. But you got all these different things ready. Like Onyx AI agent, you've got all these different aspects, and it's all right here on your front page. And of course, if you want to look up more, you can look up more. I'm going to delete this because my computer's so damn slow. But I think I like the makeover. Props to the Onyx DAO. I think it's nice. It's concise. If you have fast internet, it's not laggy. Yeah, it's very straightforward with a lot of big headline things. I like it. I like it a lot. I would fix that APR thing. That's my little critique there on C-Zar's behalf. Anyways, it's the 8th of the 8th month of the year, and we are on the 8th hour until the day closes. Anybody who has an 8th on them, you know what to do. Or if you don't know what that is, don't worry about it. On a 1 hour time frame here. Shout out to the Colorado and California family on that note. And the Alaska people. I know they like it too. 1.4 cents right now. Let's see. Man, Alaskans are fun. You guys are like morbid at times, but also fun. Like I don't know. I love Alaskans. Shout out to Alaska. They don't get enough love, man. Let's see. Or maybe they do. I don't know. I think everybody would agree that Alaska is beautiful. I don't know. Maybe you guys get too much love, actually. Looking like you're breaking out of this trend line here. You know what I like to say? Typically, it's not at the trend line that you buy, but just below the trend line. This could be an area that you do find support. Actually, you know, very, very realistically. Let's see, low to high here. Nope, you're probably going lower, though. You're probably going lower. That fact that you got overbought here, you had a nice little uptrend. You can see it, right? You've got these higher highs, higher lows, and you broke out of it, and you backtested this for resistance. You couldn't get a stronger reading. That tells me you're probably going to reset. What is a reset? Well, it could be down to the 40, a little bit more, or more likely you're going to get into that oversold zone. You don't seem to be too squeamish with that oversold zone as of late, so probably oversold area. And it looks like you have a little M pattern here too, right? little M pattern. So perhaps you do go a little bit lower. We're looking at 1.3 to 1.2 cents, if not something that's just a little bit lower than this low, right? But I would think that you do go lower. 4-hour time frame here. Let's throw on the other indicators too. I feel like I'm flying blind. I used to just, for the longest time, we just used the RSI, but and I'm fine with that. Normally, actually, whenever I'm not making videos, I do just use the RSI. I feel fine with that. I don't need anything else. But a lot of you actually seem to appreciate the other indicators too, probably because you're trying to learn. But it also it helps. It does help. Sometimes the RSI misses things that we don't see in the other things. Stochastics look a little bit bearish, right? The RSI here, I wouldn't say looks bearish. It looks bearish overall, yes, but the posturing that you're in right now could set you up to move higher because you've got these higher lows and all that stuff. But I wouldn't be surprised if we did come down to these lows here, something like that, bounce off the oversold zone and then move up. If you were to move that far down on the 4-hour time frame, I really would anticipate that we see prices below this low here. So 1.3 cents, 1.2 cents, something in that area. If we go lower, that's fine, but probably something in that area there. MACD at an area that we'll probably find resistance at. You do have a high, which is nice, a higher high in the oscillators, but you'll probably come down, find a higher low, right, in this kind of trend, and then move up from there. Okay, so a little bit lower, then a little bit higher. I don't think I really have anything else to say. We've gone over a lot of different things today, which is fun. For a pretty boring week that we've had with OnyxCoin, at least we had some other stuff to talk about too. Potentially a new investment that you don't have to think about, right? This thing, I mean, as you can see, it's been very boring for weeks. And some volumes come in actually at these levels, right? Some volume, more volume than we've seen really since 2022. And we're at the all-time lows. I'm, just a thought out there. Again, don't bet the farm on this. Don't take your insane crypto gains and put it all into this. Maybe do that. Maybe it works out. But, if you put some, like I say, effort money into this, cool. Maybe it's a worthwhile investment. I don't know if it's available on Robinhood. Robinhood does incorporate, or I think that's the right word, they incorporate some OTC stocks. They're not exclusive to just stocks that are not OTC, but maybe it's available only on like Fidelity or E-Trade or Webull or whatever. Is E-Trade even a thing anymore? I don't know. But you could probably find it, right? Anybody on this note too, while we're talking about it, if you're looking for cryptos or stocks, but they're not on the exchange that you use, and that's the barrier to entry, is that you don't want to set up another account, get over that, man. Just set up another account. There's nothing wrong with having multiple exchanges. In fact, it's probably better. It's probably a good thing to have multiple exchanges. More opportunity, more safety. If you hold, let's say you hold OnyxCoin and you have $100,000 worth of OnyxCoin, right? Even $10,000 worth or less. I know not everybody has enough to put that much money in there. If you have $1,000 worth or maybe even less than $10,000 worth, maybe this isn't applicable to you. But for a safety protocol, maybe it is. Like maybe you have $5,000 worth or $2,000 worth. Split it across multiple exchanges. There's nothing wrong with having XCN on Coinbase, XCN on Kraken, XCN on KuCoin. What? There's nothing wrong with having it across multiple exchanges. XCN on the XCN ledger or staked, right? Have it separate in different areas. And if you are staking, if you have it all staked on one wallet, that's also a single fail point as well. I have my XCN staked across 2 wallets, right? So it's and even actually 3, but at this moment my third one is not being staked. But there's nothing wrong with that. How do you stake across 3 wallets? Just connect 3 different wallets to the staking protocol. It's not that hard. MetaMask, Phantom, Coinbase wallet. Easy peasy. But I got nothing else for you guys. I hope you're enjoying the video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. Inevitably, XCN, we're still very, very confident, extraordinarily confident that we're going to see a nice pump of our own, 26 to 32 cents. As far as when this thing will pump, I don't know. Maybe it never does pump. Maybe it does pump. Who knows? But maybe it's a year from now. But again, this is why we say F it money. You put it in there, you look back at it in 5 months, and maybe it's all the way up here. You look back at it in 5 months, maybe it's all the way up here. Either way, you're not really going to care until maybe it's worth caring about, or until it's worth whatever. I took a gamble with C-Zar and it didn't go. I'm probably going to put some money in here too, but I don't know what I'm waiting for. I do want to just put like $100 in there just for fun. Maybe a little bit more than that. But anyways, I'm talking at this point, so I'm going to end the video there. Hit the like button, subscribe, take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.